For the magically gifted male units of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, the ultimate path for them ends at the Dark Bishop Masterclass. There are far fewer units who are encouraged to go on this route compared to the female-only Grimoire. Only 2, Hubert and Lindhart, compared to the Grimoire's 11, so you might be far less likely to end up with a Dark Bishop on your team if you just play the game going by what they recommend you. This would ultimately be a shame because the Dark Bishop truly has a lot to offer. Although it is one of the more straightforward classes in 3 Hopes, it is still good to understand everything that they can offer you so that you too can easily drain the life out of your enemies before blowing them apart with a series of vicious magic attacks. Let's dive on in and find out everything the Dark Bishop can do. The Dark Bishop's regular attack string consists of 7 attacks. You will fire off a row of magic to the front, create an X shape out of several more magic blades, throw even more out but faster, slice left and right simultaneously, swing several more inwards and then outwards, send multiple magic spikes up from the ground, and then finish by creating a large blast of bluish magic and spikes. Like the Grimoire, this regular attack string isn't the fastest, although unlike its rival Master Class, the aesthetics of its attacks give a better representation of where it hits, which is in quite a large area. It comes as no surprise that this magic class is a whole lot more about its strong attacks and other magic than it is about its regular attack string. So let's jump over to those strong attacks now. Your first strong attack unleashes a dark miasma all around you, and is channeled for as long as you hold the button, or until your class action gauge runs out. Only time will charge up this gauge, but when you have it available, it does a great job at giving you some breathing room from weaker foes who are temporarily paralyzed by touching it. Stronger foes will take a longer time for this paralyzing effect to take hold, as the miasma doles out its damage and status effect in several waves that are sent out a short time apart. Paralyzing your foe can make them an easy kill, although this is also the perfect time to position yourself for a powerful combat art. If you do intend to use this to disable a stronger foe, you really need to be careful. It can take several waves of the miasma to paralyze them, and meanwhile you are totally immobile and vulnerable. Naturally, you don't have the best defenses or health as a Dark Bishop, so although this effect is very strong, it needs to be thoughtfully activated and abandoned if you feel that you're in danger. The rest of the Dark Bishop's strong attacks are pretty straightforward and add in other types of elemental damage. If you'd like a refresher for what each elemental damage type and their corresponding status effects can do, be sure to watch the Grimoire guide video where I go over that in full. Let's move on. For your second strong attack, the Dark Bishop creates an ice spike out of the ground, launching your foes into the air for further attack juggling. The third strong attack has you float into the air while you call down several lightning elemental strikes in a wide area in front of you. Your fourth strong attack sees the Dark Bishop build up a dark elemental magic above their head until it pops with a circular damage zone. The fifth strong attack has you summon fire magic into a single point, where it then explodes and then lingers on the battlefield for a time. The Dark Bishop's sixth strong attack has you summon up a large wind elemental tornado, spinning your foes around helplessly for a while until it violently disperses. And last up, for your seventh strong attack, the Dark Bishop creates a humongous explosion of dark magic, which mirrors the light magic explosion that the Grimoire does in this slot. As mentioned, the Dark Bishop is able to deal out multiple types of elemental damage, with the one exception being light elemental. This is obviously an inverse of the Grimoire, who can use every element besides dark. In my opinion, the Dark Bishop definitely gets the better of the two omissions. The spellbound effect of dark magic is just a whole lot more useful in fights than the passive healing effect of light magic. I guess your appreciation of this can depend on your difficulty level and access to healing, but I truly feel like if taking damage is really that much of a problem, recovering your health is never that far away, and of course you also have the option of just making that weakened unit an adjutant of someone else. With all of the Dark Bishop's attacks now covered, let's jump over to their class abilities and then put everything together to see where they end up. As I mentioned in the Grimoire Guide, the Dark Bishop is designed to be a much more specific kind of caster, and this is obviously reflected in its class abilities. First of all, you gain the Miasma Delta skill, which grants you access to that spell as one of your combat arts, which is a very fast dark magic attack for a low durability cost. This pairs excellently with a more costly dark magic attack, such as Dark Spike's Tea or Death. Of course, your next ability is Dark Magic Mastery, which lowers the cooldown for all dark magic combat arts, meaning that you really are encouraged to use them very frequently, something that a very high durability tome really enhances for you. Seriously, some of these can be instant fight enders. You don't even need to bother with regular attacks or strong attacks. Next up, you gain the Impair ability, which lengthens status effects. To me, this is particularly good with the frozen effect of ice, as well as, of course, the dark magic spellbound effect. Last up, in lieu of the expected Bow Buster, the Dark Bishop actually comes with Cavalry Buster level 4, which on top of its own usefulness, gives them relevance in a battle where you are already bringing a Grimoire so that their talents don't overlap. This can require access to specific battalions to further enhance the effect, but when you get those, your Dark Bishop can tear up all kinds of mounted foes easily, including Bow Knights, ironically. When we put everything together, the Dark Bishop really is a class that doesn't take a genius to understand. With their mastery of dark magic, they weaken their foes and then destroy everything in their way. They are definitely my preferred infantry magic master class, being both satisfying to play as and rewarding to have on your team. Provided that you don't somehow need the extra healing that a Grimoire brings, the Dark Bishop ironically outshines its direct competition in many ways. With tomes that dish out physical damage instead of magic damage, there really are a lot more viable characters for this class than it may at first appear. So why not? Go ahead, join the dark side. Big thank you to my top Patreon supporters, Henry Gutierrez, Ryan Poe, and Shin Lu, as well as to everyone else who supports me over on Patreon. Without them, this video simply couldn't have gotten made. If you would like to support this channel doing what it does, be sure to check out the link in the description or find me on Patreon under Shanebrain.